Hello everyone, it's Helena of Speaker Insight, where we help speakers, authors, coaches build a business on your terms. Now, for those of you who are regular watchers on here, I'm just going to turn that off. For those of you who are regular watchers on here, that includes Kelly right now, you'll see that there is no Kelly. So for those of you who actually don't know us, my name is Helena and Kelly says hi, and she would normally be here by my side. So what's actually happening today? So every day, every time we do a Facebook Live, we start off with what's the buzz in our business. And as you can see, the buzz in our business this week is obviously that Kelly's somewhere else. And I'm actually going to be running the Facebook Live all by myself, but not really, because we've got a beautiful, wonderful guest joining us very, very shortly. So hopefully he is one of the people watching, and I will technologically bring him in a moment. But the buzz in our business really is that so Kelly's just saying she's just coming into Leeds and catching the first few minutes. She's going to miss us all, but I'm sure she'll be watching the replay alongside those of you who are also watching the replay. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and tell you that the buzz in our business is really that there are now over 600 of you. So we've been busy actually creating some really nice interactive ways for you to get to know each other, some competitions, some challenges, and things that will actually really help you to get yourselves going. For those of you who watched, who are in the Connection Hub, I will put the link in here in a short while. For those of you who watch that, we are doing a What's Your Signature Song? So if you haven't actually put your signature song in, do so. Go to the Connection Hub and put your signature song in, or even pop it in the feed below if you're here. Now, I am prepping for the Vision Board workshop that I'm doing on Monday. I attended a bit of a learning and had a couple of aha moments myself on Saturday. And the biggest thing, I think, in terms of the buzz in our business that really helps all of you is that we consolidated all the Facebook Lives that we've done, because they're like mini trainings that are full of juicy goodness. And so people were sort of saying, how do I find this one? Where do I find this one? So inside the Connection Hub, inside files, you'll actually find a document that we're going to put absolutely every single one of the that we've put all the Facebook Lives that we've done so far and the ones that are kind of coming up. So it should be easy for you to help us. And Kelly has been amazing because she's put the link in there for you. So now let me tell you about this week's live. So Stephen's actually online and ready and waiting. So I'm going to bring him in, tell you a little bit about kind of interactive quizzes and diagnostic tools, because I'm sure that as most speakers, authors, coaches that are out there, the biggest thing that you actually want is that whole lead generation piece. So what is it that you can do that really gets people engaged with you and also onto the famous list that you've got? So I'm just going to press some buttons. So if it looks like my fingers are coming at you, it's because they are. So I am just going to request that. Beautiful. And Stephen, feel free to invite yourself in, my darling. And in the meanwhile, so one of the reasons that we're actually doing this, hang on a second, let me just actually invite you in. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm going to have to do some typing just while we're in here, Steve. There we go. Beautiful. And there we go. Now, I've invited you, my darling. Let's do it that way instead. There's always something that can actually happen. So one of the things that came out in the poll that we did a little while back was, of course, the whole how do I get leads? How do I actually create the leads that I'm wanting? Brilliant. Hi, Susan, and hi, Misty. So one of the best ways that you can actually do that is to do a quiz or a survey or a poll in some way. In fact, actually, that's exactly what we did. We did a poll saying, what is it that you most want to actually do or have from us? And one of the big things was around lead gen. So I've invited Stephen along, who I hope he's here. So far, it looks like I've invited him, but Stephen, if you can actually kind of invite yourself in, that would be absolutely amazing whilst I'm sort of talking a little bit more. So whilst I'm talking and getting this bit sorted, really, one of the best ways to attract or connect with your clients is to do things like quizzes and what Stephen's actually done is created a tool that really works alongside a quiz very beautifully. So I'm just going to do this. Oh, good. I'm very, very pleased you're looking forward to it, Misty. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, you can't see the invite button. Okay, that's an interesting thing. I'm just actually going to invite you. So look out for a little invite from me in a moment, and we'll go from there. Now, so some of you will actually recall once upon a time, somewhere along the line. So Stephen, I've invited you, so you should find a little link somewhere that invites you. Funny how the tests always work, but the actual never really kind of goes to plan. But so whilst I'm doing that, oh, I do like the idea of a prize story, and that's exactly what we're actually going to talk about. That's one of the ways in which you can definitely do this. So Ian's just suggesting, rewarding people with something that you can actually take on. So let me tell you a little bit about why I'm going to faff about with the connection pieces in a moment. Let me tell you a bit about why we actually love quizzes. Here we go. There we go. Beautiful. Wonderful. I will approve you. There we go. Sorry about the faffing. So for those of you who show my age, one of those Cosmo quizzes, or more recently, hi. So welcome,
Hey,
welcome.
it worked.
Steve Ockertall, Meet the World, which is wonderful. Now, for those of you who've ever done a Cosmo magazine quiz, or if you're a recent reader of Psychologies, you'll see that there are those little quizzes that you just can't help but actually go into and go, oh, I'm just going to take 5 minutes. Stephen, have you ever been caught by that? I'm sure you have.
Oh, many, many times. They suck you right in.
Yeah, they really do. And the reason that they do that is really gonna point you in the direction of a really great TED Talk. Sherry Turkle did this beautiful TED Talk around being connected in the world. And what it is, it's about, we want to quantify our own experience. We want to know more about ourselves. We want to define ourselves. So a quiz allows us to kind of put ourselves in a place of belonging, or in a place of education, or a place of knowing where we actually are. Yeah, Kelly, I love technology too. I can definitely say that. So with that longing for self-knowledge, quizzes and diagnostic tools and things that help us either be entertained or be educated are something that really just ties in with a human being's curiosity and almost competitive self-knowledge that's in there. So one of the ways that you can definitely interact with people is to do a quiz. Now, Stephen's helped design a fantastic tool that at least 4 of the people inside the Connection Hub are actually already using. So I'll tag Christine Nicholson, Gary King, Adrian Brown, Emma Hammett. They've all used Stephen's tool. So it seemed appropriate that, as we were talking about lead gen and how we could actually get people in, for us to actually find out a little bit more about the tool and actually ask you some questions. What I will just say before that is, this is a really great business tool. And so for a lot of you out there, you may not have actually considered using a quiz or a diagnostic tool as something to really help your business. But I'm going to let Steve kind of talk you through exactly how that works. For some of you, it might actually be that not using a tool like this, but using something fun and engaging in your content also works. So Ian, giving away a prize draw is definitely a good idea. Allthetests.com lets you create some really fun little quizzes that you can actually do. Quizzer is another one that can let you actually do this. But what we'd like to actually focus on is really focusing on the scorecard, and I'm going to let Steve introduce what that actually is, because there are, yes, we will post the replay if you're having problems, Misty, but it sounds like everybody else is actually doing all right with it. So I'm just going to crack on and keep on talking to you. So Steve, first and foremost, aside from kind of entertaining quizzes, how can you use
Yep.
diagnostic tools in the business? Tell us a little bit about what you guys have developed, you and Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely. So, bit of background as to why we developed it in the first place, I think helps to put it into context. So I've been doing web design for 10, 12 years, ever since I was 16 years old. And throughout that whole time, I was always doing a lot of consulting work on the side, and that sort of stuff, dealing with a whole range of different types of clients here, there, and everywhere. And throughout all these years, for myself, but also for my clients, trying to do marketing for them, I've used all those different lead gen sort of tools and magnets out there. I'm sure everyone listening probably knows all about them, like a free 7-page report or a free video series or whatever it might be.
Some kind of
And
checklist.
yeah, exactly. Some sort of checklist, or the list goes on, and they used to work quite well, and they still do, absolutely. And there's definitely a place for them. But in terms of when myself and my business partner Kevin decided to join forces about 12 months ago with our own consulting company here in London, we really wanted to make sure that that the people that we were talking to and spending our time with were actually the ones that we wanted to work with in the long run. And so we developed our scorecard as a tool, which is, like you said, similar to a quiz, although this was based on Dan Sullivan's methodology, which if anyone out there knows Dan Sullivan, he's from Strategic Coach. He's an incredible fellow. And we sort of levitated towards one of his methodologies around the scorecard. And we started using that ourselves internally for our own business, so that we could filter out those coming in and save ourselves a whole bunch of time wasted on basically trying to chase the wrong type of clients. But also it allowed us as a new business back then, as a new sort of consulting firm, to identify, well, what is all the wisdom, experience, and knowledge that we have, and how can we actually package that up so that it makes sense in a concise way to somebody else out there. And I think that's a big sort of difference with our scorecard compared to an average quiz, is the fact that it does help take whatever's in your head and the results you can deliver and the things that you can do, and converts that into a way that other people can read through it in a fun way, like you said, like a personality quiz, and they can quickly grasp exactly what you have to offer, and see if they resonate with you, and see if they want what you have to offer.
Yeah, and I think one of the things, having worked with a couple of people who have got scorecards running, I think one of the things that this actually does is that it actually allows whoever your client is, whoever your ideal or prospective client is, it allows them to actually think about their situation and allows them to score themselves on that situation, so that it makes it a lot easier for the speakers, authors, and coaches out there to actually attract the right clients and to actually, as you say, save time and energy around that. And I'm sure that that's not of interest to anybody on this call at all.
I'm sure, yeah.
So what kinds of problems are you actually seeing that speakers, authors, and coaches could actually tackle within using a tool like this?
So we've developed a tool now it really is aimed for speakers, authors, and coaches. So it's a bespoke tool for them. And so the problems it sort of tackles is a number of things. One is sort of packaging up all of your wisdom, knowledge, and experience, and to put that in a concise way. Another one is to screen out those sorts of clients that you don't actually want to work with. And another big benefit is to really warm up and to gain trust from new prospects who are filling in your scorecard, because we, like a lot of our clients, use our scorecard now as the number one sort of marketing material. We put it in front of clients whenever it's online, on Facebook ads, or even in person when we're talking to them at a networking event. It goes in front of them. And what it does is allows people to sort of warm themselves up to you. Because if they're resonating with where they want to be according to your, and we use sort of 6 to 8 different mindset definitions that we come up with each client. And if they can resonate with those definitions and resonate with your own mindsets as a coach, author, or speaker, suddenly they're a much different type of prospect. And instead of trying to, I don't know about everyone listening, but I hate trying to hard sell people. trying to convince the wrong type of people to buy something that isn't actually good for them anyway. So what it allows you to do is to have that warm sale and to help close that particular prospect in a much easier fashion.
Yeah, and so I'm aware that I know how well this form of diagnostic tool really works. Can
Yeah.
you say a little bit about sort of, because we have a range, obviously, of speakers, authors, coaches. They want to do different things. Some of them are here to influence. Some of them are here to really impact their income. Some of them are working with corporates. Some of them are working on an individual basis. Does it work for, how does it work differently for those types of people?
Yeah, it works really well for a wide range, and I'll give you a couple of examples. Because ultimately, because it is based on your own mindsets and the type of client and customer you want, it's very much individualized to each business or each coach, author, and speaker. So a couple of examples. One, who she might be watching, at least she'll be sure to be watching the replay, is Emma Hammett from First Aid for Life, and what she's been able to do with her quiz. Because she's going after so many different people as a sort of coach, as an author, and as a trainer in the first aid space, she goes after a wide audience using Facebook ads, and that's just her medium of marketing. And she's been able to she's had our scorecard for about 2 months now, and she's had just over 6,500 people opt in, which has been absolutely remarkable results. Yeah, exactly right. So she's gone sort of the mass quantity of like, okay, let's get everyone opted in properly. So it's all GDPR ready and everything like that. So the 6,500 people to now warm up and constantly sell to for her courses. And she's had some amazing success in converting as well. To another extreme is someone else we've been working with for a little while now, who is a tax advisor. His name's James, and he basically is a coach for tax advisors. Which is quite up there, and his clients are very much the big end corporate clients like Investec and those in the city. And so what we sort of worked with him to do was to develop his own scorecard, his own mindsets, all related around tax efficiency, which to me doesn't sound overly exciting, but when he put this scorecard in front, which is his business, which is really cool, but if you put it in front of the particular companies who do resonate with that tax efficiency and the need of what they have to offer, he was able to land, I think he sent it out to about 100 different people. He landed about 30 different meetings in like a couple of weeks, and he's been able to skyrocket his business from that, and it's been pretty amazing sort of results to see that.
Yeah. And I'm really heartened by the fact that, what we're doing, because, I'm always gonna speak about, are we serving the client first and foremost with whatever we put in front of them? And so if people are stopping reading the lead gens that are the normal lead gens, your ebooks or whatever it is, if we can put something that is exciting and informative in front of people that actually gives you a base, you as a speaker, author, coach, someone who's actually having the conversation with a prospect, if we can put something in front of them that allows us to actually know a little bit about where they're at, that they willingly actually want to give you, it means that they're telling us about the problems that they have, they're acknowledging those for themselves, and that makes it a lot easier, as you say, to have a warmer conversation, because they already know and resonate with the way in which you've actually been asking. So I think it's a really clever thing that you've done, and don't underplay the cleverness of it, because it really is amazing, and it's obviously making a massive difference in people's businesses.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty incredible in such a short time. Because now we're pretty much not doing any consulting ourselves anymore, and just 100% focused on this one product, just because it's in such a demand right now. So it's a lot of fun.
And what I really love about that, because we've had obviously conversations before, and I've watched this journey kind of come in, because we've known each other for a while now. What I really love is that, as with all of us, our businesses start with one shape. and then we find the thing that might have the magic that people really love, and actually spending some time and effort and scrapping some of the other things and just focusing on that one thing becomes just such a great story as well for how people can start to hone and focus and get feedback in this way, which of course is part of what any diagnostic tool or quiz actually allows you to do anyway. But I love that you've taken something, seen the success of it, followed the track of it, and actually gone, you know what, we can serve a whole bunch of people with this in this way. And I really like that.
No, thank you. And I agree. I mean, our tagline ever since we started our business was simplify to multiply. Because it's amazing if you simplify your own business as a coach, as a consultant, trainer, speaker, whatever it might be, if you can narrow down your audience or what you have to offer, I think makes a big difference in the long run.
I really, really love that, and putting those structures in is a really good way of doing it. So we will put a little link in so that people can obviously take it, because here's what I know for sure. Until you've taken a quiz, and I'm sure that everybody who's actually live at the moment and everyone who's watching the replay is going to want to take a quiz, or at least see what that looks like. So once I finish this, I will put in the links for some of the people who've already done it, as well as of course your own, so that you can see, all of you out there, you can actually see and have a go at how this might work for you. Missy's already saying thank you, great, wonderful, I'll have some of that, which is really good. I suppose for me, the biggest piece is, are you surprised at all by the fact that people are responding in the way that they are?
Yes and no. I think because we got to experience ourselves firsthand to begin with, and then all of our clients were sort of gravitating towards that. That sort of showed us that we're on the right mark there in terms of having a scorecard quiz, and ultimately the methodology behind the scorecarding and quizzing in general. You see it working so often all over the world. So I think it's just a good timing for us. But yeah, very fortunate to be part of it, and looking forward to seeing how many other people we can help with it.
Oh, that's really amazing. And lo and behold, Emma has literally just joined us. And so I'll say a big hi to Emma. Emma, you got bigged up about 10 minutes ago, hun. So if it's all right with you. In fact, Emma, would you do me a favor? Would you pop in the actual link? Would you pop the link? That's all right, hun. Don't worry. Would you pop the link through to your scorecard? Because we've just been talking about yours in the actual comments. That'd be really great. So people can go off and actually do that. Then I'll put the link for Steve's betterclients.co.uk. I'll put the link for Steve's in after we're sort of done here. So really, for all of us, the call to action, and we all have a call to action at the end of every one of these, is to actually consider, how can I use quizzes, surveys, interactive diagnostic tools, questions, whether they're Google Forms, type forms, there's all sorts of things out there that you can actually do. How could you use a quiz in your business, and how might you actually entertain people and educate people through the great questions that you as speakers, authors, coaches actually already have? So that's really our little call for you is, are you using quizzes? If so, feel free to pop them in. If you're not, how might you use them? What would you actually do with them? And the biggest thing for us is go and have a look at some of the quizzes that are actually around. I do know that Joy and Sophie in here actually created their own survey from SurveyMonkey that actually went out to hundreds of women around building women's confidence, which they then, from the results, turned into an ebook that's been downloaded many, many times. So there are definitely things that you can do with lead gen, but an interactive quiz like this is definitely a really good way to go. So go and have a play with that. Let's see what you all come up with. Stephen, any last words from you?
No, that sounds fun. Yeah, definitely. I like that call to action. And yeah, if anyone does want to check out our package, feel free to go to betterclients.uk. I just wanted to quickly mention too that one of the hard things about quiz that we often get told anyway is trying to come up with the definitions for the quiz. So As part of our service and package, it is all about holding your hand to make sure you come up with the perfect definitions that are right for you and your audience. So the whole process from that all the way through to any CRM integration is all covered.
Which is, and I know for a fact that you are kind of hand holding people around. I'm actually now trying to type with my glasses on and actually pay attention. It's much easier with two, Kelly. Kelly, come back. Although this is really good practice for us. So we're going to leave you to it. Have a think about how you can. Oh, bless. Hang on. I am actually now going to read what's on the screen.
Thank you, Emma.
Emma says, Steve is utterly wonderful to work with, and the quiz is so easy to create. So for those of you who are desperately looking, click on that little link there. That'll get you straight through to it, or go to betterclients.co.uk and see where you end up. We'd love to know, so keep us posted. On that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you, Steve, for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and thank you, everybody.
You're welcome. Take care. Oh, nice one, Emma.
Bye.
Thank you. Speak soon. Bye.